fixed you some hot tea.
Thank you.
Are you feeling any better?
A little.
Surprising, considering Sheila actually tried to kill you earlier.
She thought that she had. Look, I'd really like to get into this story. I have a plane to catch. My son is ill.
It's nothing serious, I hope.
No, it's the flu, but I really need to see him.
Of course you do. Okay, let's begin.
All right. About 4 years ago, I was married to a doctor named Scott Granger. We were having some problems. He wanted to have children, and I wasn't sure that I was ready, so we separated. He was working with a nurse named Sheila Carter. In short, she seduced him, got pregnant by him, and figured that he would do the right thing.
Which was?
Divorce me and marry her. He didn't love her. In fact, at that point, he detested her. But he wanted to give his child his name. There was another complication as well. I was pregnant by that time, too.
Did Scott know this?
He found out later, as did Sheila. And then she did something that I will never, ever forgive her for. It's just an example of the detestable human being Sheila Carter really is.
Sheila, we have got to get you to the doctor.
Oh, doctor, forget the doctor. We've got to get to Lauren.
Well, where is she?
She's at Warwick's office.
Again?
Yes.
What's she doing over there?
Eric told her to go there.
Eric?
She wanted to tell him everything. But my husband, being the bright man he is, said he wouldn't listen, and if she had anything to say, to tell it to my therapist.
So, she's spilling her guts to the head shrinker. What do you think he'll do?
Oh, what do you think he's gonna do, Michael? He's gonna go right to Eric with everything.
Well, you've got to get over there. Convince him not to do that.
Oh, no. No, the time for talking is over. It's time for action. Possibly the final action.
There's no question about it, darling. We gotta beef up this production schedule. You gotta tell Saul he's gotta move the whole thing up by a month. We got a bunch of copycat vultures circling our tents, and if they are going to get a hold of Grand Diva, we're gonna be in real trouble. I'm serious now. Tell them to move it along. Did you get the phone? Come on.
Are you kidding me? Can you give me a hand here?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, thanks. Whoops. Spectre Fashions, may I help you? May I ask who's calling, please? One moment. Sally, it's Sonny Stone. He wants to get some info about the Diva collection. Do you want to talk to him?
What'd I tell you about vultures, huh?
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Hello, Sonny. How are you, baby? Hmm? Yeah. The new Grand Diva collection is going to be sensational. Yeah, Sonny, what's this I hear about you putting out a large-size line called Venus de Milo? Hmm? You're trying to tap into that size 18 billion-dollar market, huh? You're trying to steal a little bit of Spectra's thunder? Oh, perish the thought, of course. Listen, honey, there's profit enough for all of us. Just don't step on my toes, okay? Hmm? No problem, Sonny. No problem at all. Listen, baby, next time you're in Los Angeles, why don't you give me a call? We can have a cocktail together. I understand they're very refreshing. You got it, baby. Bye-bye. That bum. You get a hold of Saul right now and tell him production has got to be up by 10 days. Tell him to make it snappy.
You got it, Sal.
Macy.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, darling. What brings you by?
Well, I just thought I would fill you in on a few things.
Good things, I hope.
Unfortunately, no.
You haven't gotten another one of those letters, have you?
No, as a matter of fact, I spoke to the police earlier, and they're going to be interviewing Sly today.
Sly, as in Irv.
Yes, but I don't know, Mom. I just can't imagine that he's the one.
I can't either, darling. But there's a lot of evidence pointing in his direction. Irving happens to be Sly's real name. And from the way he's been talking to people, he's got a lot of hard feelings about you and Thorne.
Yeah, but Sly was a good friend, Mother. I mean, to write threatening mail, that's just not his style. Anyway, there's somebody else I want to talk to you about.
Really? Who?
Ivana.
Thorne.
Hi, Ivana.
Hi, come on in. Well, you're the last person I expected to see. So what's up?
I wanted to talk to you.
Well, we could have done that at work.
I didn't want to be interrupted.
Oh, it sounds serious.
It is, Ivana. It's about what happened at my office a few weeks ago.
Look, Thorne, I told you it'll never happen again.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Well, I meant it. It was a mistake.
And see, I guess that's what bothers me. You only thought it was a mistake after I blew you off and I wouldn't let you seduce me. But had I allowed that to happen...
Yeah, but you didn't. Because you're still in love with Macy. Aren't you?
You see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Ivana. Obviously, I'm in love with Macy, and yet you don't want to see that. You still want to think that there might be a chance for the two of us. And doesn't that ring true, Ivana?
And there you go.
Thank you, Sly.
You bet. Gentlemen, you look like you don't want a beer.
Beverly Hills PD.
What, do you guys need a map? This is Malibu.
You Irv Donovan?
Call me Sly, will you, all right? Just cool it with the Irv thing.
You don't like being called Irv?
Not particularly. So, what can I do for you boys?
You can answer a couple of questions.
You guys want to question me?
Yeah, come on, let's go sit down.
What is this, a joke or what?
How's business been lately, Mr. Donovan?
Pretty rotten. Look, what is this all about?
Used to be a pretty hot spot.
How would you know?
Had a female singer performing in here. Macy Alexander, wasn't that her name?
Yeah, that's right.
But then she left and the business went south.
We're hanging in there.
Yeah. By a thread.
Look, I don't like you two. What the hell do you want?
What bothers you, Sly? Talking about the bad times the club's been through.
We're gonna make it just fine, with or without Macy.
There's that name again.
You're not a fan of hers anymore, are you, Sly?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm not. Is there a law against that?
No. But there is against sending threatening letters in the mail.
What?
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Mr. Donovan?
Would I know anything about what?
I don't think you need it spelled out.
Spell it out.
All right. Macy Alexander's been receiving some very nasty fan letters from a man named Irv.
Wait, and you think that I'm the one who's sending them? Whoa. Okay, obviously you fellas need to do a little more time back at Dick Tracy's school.
In other words, you deny it.
Damn straight.
Well, Irv, we seem to think you might have something to do with it.
Yeah, what do you got besides a name?
Nothing. We'll have a lot more pretty soon. And if it leads us back here, we won't be as friendly as we were today. So if you've got something to tell us.
Yeah, I do have something to tell you. Buy a drink or get out.
If you're planning on leaving town, notify us. By phone, not by mail.
What did Sheila do?
Well, she miscarried, which totally freaked her out.
Well, I imagine it would, considering the only reason Scott married her was because she was pregnant.
And Sheila being Sheila, she never told Scott.
She never told him?
No. She didn't want to risk losing him. So she left town.
What happened then?
She contacted a baby broker and bought a child.
Dear God.
Eventually, I had my son, and one night in the hospital nursery, she switched the babies.
What are you saying? She actually switched the children?
Yes. You see, my baby was barely 2 days old. I was recovering from a very difficult birth. She pulled it off. Now she had Scott's biological child. As time went on, the baby that I thought was mine became ill and died.
This is unbelievable.
Sheila's mother started to suspect the truth. Unfortunately, she had a stroke, which prevented her from telling me. But she was determined that I find out. Sheila realized it was just a matter of weeks. So she set up a rendezvous for her mother and me to meet at the farmhouse in Michigan. She pulled a gun on us, James. And I believe she fully intended to use it, not only on me, but also on her mother.
You got a plan?
Come on.
Where are we going?
I am not gonna let that shrink and that witch ruin everything for me. I am gonna stop them somehow, some way. I am gonna stop them from telling Eric.
You want to talk about Ivana? Why?
Well, you know that I intended to ask Brooke to be my maid of honor, to stand up for me in the wedding.
Yes?
Well, she couldn't.
Why not?
You haven't heard?
Heard what?
Ridge was in an accident.
Ridge? Where? When?
At the Forrester lab, there was some kind of explosion.
Oh, dear God.
It was terrible, Mother. He's, well, he's blind. He can't see.
Oh, God, Macy, that's terrible. God!
Although they are planning to do some kind of procedure that may restore his sight. Anyway, obviously, Brooke has her hands full right now.
Obviously. Well, darling, what do you plan to do about a maid of honor?
Well, that's where Ivana comes in.
You were going to ask Ivana?
I'm thinking about it, yes.
Macy, Ivana and Thorne were very heavily involved.
Well, she's heavily involved with Anthony right now.
I'm sure not close to her. I mean, you're not even friends,
Well,
are you?
we are friends. And we're closer than you think. I mean, Anthony and Ivana and Thorne and I, we've been through a lot together. And there's a kind of a bond now. And I think that by asking Ivana to stand up for me, it'll cement things.
Do you really think you can trust her?
It's not a question of trust.
I think it is, Macy. I think it is. Ivana was very much in love with Thorne, and then he left her for you. Now, she could very well be carrying a torch for him and a lot of resentment towards you. Don't forget that.
All the more reason to bring her into the fold, Mother. You know me. I'm not one to run from my enemies.
Yeah, fine. But that doesn't mean you have to invite them to stand up for you at your wedding.
Why not? What better place to keep an eye on them?
Look, Thorne, believe me, I swear, I have accepted your relationship with Macy.
You're sure about that?
Well, why would you doubt me?
Man just picks up on things, Ivana.
Oh, and what have I done that you'd pick up on?
I've noticed the way you look at Macy sometimes.
Oh, and how do I look at her?
Can I be blunt?
Yes.
You look at her like you wish she were dead.
Thorne, look, maybe that's how I felt when you first broke up with me, but not now.
Because of your relationship with Anthony.
You know, you're just fishing for something. What is it, Thorne?
Ivana, you wouldn't be the person who happens to be writing these letters to Macy, would you?
No, definitely not.
You have the perfect motive.
Oh, would you please stop? You know, this is beneath you. That you could even think that I'd do such a thing. You know, I'd like you to leave now. Hello.
Ivana, hi, it's Macy.
Oh, hi.
Hi, look, I know you're probably busy, but I really did want to talk to you. Do you think we could get together?
Yeah, sure. Where?
How about my place in about 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be right over.
Great, thanks a lot. I'll see you later.
Okay. Goodbye. Well, it looks like we're both leaving. I have a friend who needs me.
Look, Ivana.
What, Thorne?
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you ought to be. Come on, let's go.
So Sheila was holding you and her mother at gunpoint in the country. Well, how on earth did you manage to escape?
I had to get physical. So strange. I have never hit anyone in my entire life till I met Sheila. We've had several very violent fights. We truly do hate one another. Ultimately, I wonder if one of us is going to have to die.
Let's go back to the farmhouse. What happened next?
We struggled and a kerosene lamp fell over. A fire broke out and the entire farmhouse was burnt down to the ground.
And somehow, in the confusion, you managed to escape with Sheila's mother.
Yes. But one person didn't. They found a body in all the rubble. A body that everyone thinks was Sheila's.
Lauren, this story is unbelievable. Tell me about this body that was found.
He worked for the electric company. He was reading a meter down in the basement when the fire broke out. No one knew that he was there. The poor soul was burned beyond recognition.
So the authorities thought that... Well, they thought it was Sheila.
They still do to this day.
What are you saying? The police and Jenna was...
They don't know that she's alive. If they did, she'd be arrested.
For any number of crimes.
Somehow she escaped the farmhouse
And is that when she came here to Los Angeles?
and got her hooks into Eric.
Oh, my God, if Eric only knew all of this.
Well, he will, because you're going to tell him. It's up to you, James. You have to free Eric once and for all and put Sheila where she belongs, behind bars. Look, I've got to get going.
Yes, of course.
I'm not going to call Eric for a while. I want to give him some time. This is going to be very difficult for him.
Oh, don't worry about Eric. He's in good hands. I'll help him through this.
Good. Oh, how I wish I could be here to see justice done. I have waited so long for this time. 4 years. And it's here. It's finally going to come to an end.
Well, you'll see someone when you get back to Genoa City. You've been through a hell of an ordeal. There's bound to be some post-episodic trauma.
I think I need to see my son and get a good night's sleep. Remember, it's in your hands now, James. Please take care of yourself and take care of Eric.
And now I have to tell Eric all of this. There's no sense in waiting.
Hey, well, talk about timing, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, I live just up the block. But I'm curious why you wanted to see me.
Well, I just had this crazy idea, and I wanted to run it by you. Come on in.
Okay, so run it by me.
All right, I won't waste any of your time. I'll just come right out and... Oh, my God.
They're beautiful.
Oh. Thorne, you must have snuck these in after I left this morning. Oh, my...
What is it, Macy?
They're not from Thorne, they're from him.
Who?
That bastard who keeps writing me those letters. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, he's been in my apartment. He's been in my home.
My dear friend Eric, your life is about to be shaken up. Considerably. And it's the end for you, Sheila. The end